So today we're going to talk about graphs of quadratics and some very specific stuff with graphs of quadratics. So these are some attributes of those graphs. There's a standard form, and then there's a vertex form of these equations. Standard form is what you've seen before, but the one that we're going to mainly be using and the one that you will see on the DA the most is vertex form. So the one that you'll see on the district assessment is vertex form. So the vertex is that maximum or minimum point. It's also H comma K. Well, it's negative HK. So it's going to be opposite of whatever you see here. And then K, I'm going to erase that. It's HK. The focus is a point inside the curve. And so here is a graph. The vertex is the bottom or the minimum point, or it's the maximum point if it's facing down. So that's that vertex point. The focus is a point inside the curve. And you probably never heard of a focus point before, but it's just a point inside the curve. The directrix is a line outside of the curve. It's a horizontal line outside of the curve. So if the graph is facing up, it's going to be below the curve. If the graph is facing down, then the line is going to be above the curve. The axis of symmetry is a vertical line that cuts your graph in half. So it's a vertical line that splits your graph in half. So there's something really, really special about the focus and the directrix. And that's that they're exactly the same distance from the vertex. So the focus and the directrix have exactly the same distance from that vertex point. So that distance from the vertex to the focus, or the vertex to the directrix, that distance, whatever it is called P. And this doesn't make a whole lot of sense until we do some of these problems that you're going to see on the district assessment. So this is a pretty important form of the equation. So we're going to be referring back to it. But first, my computer sounds like it's about to fly away. Name something you might place both of your hands on at the same time. What? I just did keyboard, it didn't take it. Is it? I did keyboard, it didn't like it.
It ain't a lot of yours.
Guitar. That's crazy. That was kind of a hard question. Okay, so this shows a graph. The graph isn't there, but I know that there is a point that goes inside that graph, and then there is a line underneath it. So I could sketch on the graph if it makes me feel happy to have the graph there. But what's important to be able to write the equation is I need to know the distance from the vertex to the point of the focus and the vertex to the directrix line. So what is the distance? Just a distance, it's just a distance of 1. The vertex, what is that vertex point? That pink one, how do I get there?
How do you get to B?
How do I get there? Alex, stop. I'm talking. Like, these are notes. Stop being rude. How do I get to this point? How do I get to the point? -3, 2. Sorry, P is the distance from the vertex to the point of the focus. It's just a distance of 1. To write the equation, I've got that formula. Y is equal to 1/4 P X minus H plus K. Okay, well, this is H, this is K. And this is P. So I'm going to plug these things in. So Y is equal to 1 divided by, what is 4 times 1? 4, so it's just a 4 under here. X, and then it's minus. So what's minus? -3. I shouldn't hear your music. What's -3? +3. And then it's plus K, whatever K is. There's my equation. Well, what's 4 times 1? So it just is 1/4.
Hold on. What time one start?
11:30.
No, I'm saying.
Name something that causes a lot of damage or destruction if it overflows. Water.
Toilet. That's the. You coming? Damn.
Like sometimes the dishwasher overflows.
Don't put that in. But it's not like. What's the thing when it's a lot of snow? Oh, man.
Avalanche.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a volcano. I didn't even think about volcano.
What does a volcano do?
All right, we're going to do the same thing. There is a graph and the middle point is part of my vertex. My graph is going to look something like this. So I'm looking for that distance. What is the distance from the vertex to the focus or the vertex to the directrix? What's that distance? Zaria, what's that distance? 2. Very good. So the distance is 2. What is my vertex, friends? 2, -3. Very good. So I'm going to write my equation. It's y is equal to 1 over, it's 4 times p. What is 4 times 2? 8. So it's always going to be x and then the opposite of the x value. So the opposite of 2 is -2. And then -3.
I don't understand it all.
So a lot of times your equation has this beginning value. A lot of times it's a fraction. So don't be afraid. A lot of times it's a fraction. Name something you will never throw away, no matter how ratty it gets.
I just called twice. If you don't answer the call at the same time, then.
I don't know. For some people, it might be a stuffed animal. You're good. All right. The next thing that we're going to do, this says that we've got some graph and it's modeling the graph of parabolic motion. So a rocket goes up and then it comes down. And so on your DA, it gives you the equation, but the equation doesn't matter. They give you the graph. The graph is what matters. And so then it gives you these graphs and it's a multiple choice question. It says, find the one where the graph is shaded, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to show you how to shade those so that you'll be able to figure out which one is the right answer. It's pretty easy. This one says shade the graph when the rocket is above 5 meters. Okay, well, I'm going to go find 5. And I'm going to make a line. Okay, so there's a line at 5. So, does everybody agree that this is where the graph is above? In the middle, right? Everybody agree? That's when it's above. So, I'm going to shade right here. This is when my graph is above. Right there. That's how I shade it. That's when my graph is above 5 meters. Right there. Yeah. That's it. Fast money round. Name a kind of place to which flowers are frequently delivered. Name an article of clothing people like to wear baggy. Jeans? Besides an alligator or crocodile, name something else that lives in a swamp. Turtle. Name a piece of equipment with the word scope in its name. Name something that gets shredded. I think cheese was a better answer. Not today. We've got one more question. This one says, shade the graph where the rocket is below 8 meters. So it's the same idea that you're going to go make a line at 8. And then this one, when it's below, well, if it's above right here, it's below on the outside. So it doesn't shade on the inside. Be careful. When it's below, it shades on the outside. So when it's below, it shades on the outside. Be careful if you shade it on the inside. When it is below, you shade on the outside. And that is all we have for today, friends.
Oh. Below is the outside?